All right. Well, welcome everybody. As I thought about the content, and I have to apologize. This is the dashing home from the pool look. So grateful for the tan. It makes up for lack of makeup and everything else. So, I'm really excited for tonight's call, especially the title, like inner strength. Isogenics for me has been a journey of waking that beast inside of you, and so as I'm looking at the different names, people that are joining us, I know Susanna and Jackie and so many of you. We have a few new names that I don't recognize. I just want to welcome you guys to the call, and I want you to think about, why are you here? What inspired you to actually get on this call? Because we know it's a commitment every week to get on one of these calls, and so we want to welcome you, but start thinking about why you said yes and what you want to gain from this call. I know that I'm on here because I can learn and learn and learn, and I'm so excited to listen to Paul and Erin, who are just incredible strengths of wisdom and experience. But with your inner strength, a lot of people are wanting something, whether it's weight loss or performance or more income or energy, better sleep, whatever it is. Everybody has these goals and things they want to attain, but a lot of people are asking different questions. Maybe you're like me, 7 years ago, and you were asking the question, I know there's so many answers out there and there's so many options, but what works best for me and my body and my lifestyle? Like, what works for me? Maybe you were like Paul, you're an expert, you know so much, you have so much experience and wisdom. Or Erin, just a living example of vitality and health, but you're still kind of going, what more could I do? What does next level health look like? Or what does next level living look like? And so wherever you fall into those categories, I want to welcome you and thank you for coming. And I hope that your heart is open to learning tonight and adding value to this community. That's what we're all doing. All right. Some of us are brand new here. Some of us have been around for a long, long time, and we gain a lot of strength and experience and support from each other as we add to the group. So thank you guys for being here. Stephanie, if you can go ahead and start those slides. Perfect. Stephanie's the slide rock star. So I have to give her some kudos for doing this every week for us. So this is our mission statement. And as I read this, I want you to think about, like, does this resonate? And is it something that you would like to be a part of? Our goal in Isogenics, and I say our because every single one of us are intimately connected to this goal. Like, we all want to achieve this and be impacting world health and freeing people from physical and financial pain. And in the process, creating the most trusted and respected health and wellness company in the world. And I think we can all agree that that is so needed right now. Not only the solutions that we're going to talk about tonight are needed, but being a company and a people in a community that's respected and is sought after. All right, so next week, if you are part of our Facebook group, please check in because we're going to be sharing some bios on these two amazing people. If you're not a part of the Facebook group, my request from you is to be added to that. Request to be added to this group because we're going to be sharing their bios. Joni Brewer is married to I think it's 4 or 5 generations of coal miners. And she actually retired her husband, showed up at his work in a limo with roses and said, hey, get in the limo. You're never coming back here again. And their story is incredible. I'm so excited for you to hear about it. And then Jim Rhodes is such a respected professional in the field of health and wellness. And we are so honored to have him as part of Isogenics. And I can't wait to hear him talk. So please join us next week and invite your family and friends to join us as well. All right. And with that being said, guys, Isogenics is made up of incredible people. We don't attract the best people in the world. We kind of do, but we don't necessarily attract people that are exactly where they want to be in life, but we attract incredible people that have so much to offer and give. And in the process of, using the products and becoming their best self and growing and becoming financially free, like, it's the best comes out of them. But Erin is an example of who Isogenics is. When I look at her, she screams vitality, energy, health, love, service, just all the things that Isogenics represents. So we are so excited to hear her story. And as she speaks, guys, I want you to think about the fact that, she came into Isogenics already doing so many things right. And this is what was added to her life through these incredible products and this company. So Erin, with that, we would love to hear from you, girl.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Funny, I look at these pictures of my daughters, and they're one of my biggest why. I think I'm my first why, and they're my second why. But Trisha, I'll never forget I think it was probably the first celebration I went to, or something that I went to, and they got you on stage and said that you were dirt poor and you sold your refrigerator, I think it was, in order to invest. And I specifically remember going, wow, to do what you did, I didn't have to do that, but I did have my own story. So now I'm looking at the screenshot. Wow, look how great I looked at 40. Holy moly. I'm now 45. Yes, I want to share a little bit about my story of what let me get a little different screen. There we go. Thank you. I was thinking about tonight's call, and I know that, I don't know about all of you, but lately I have been full of piss and vinegar. And what I mean by that is that, the weight of the world has been starting to affect me. And actually my therapist tells me I'm one of the most positive and hopeful people that she knows. And so I was really coming from a place of my heart tonight, you guys, because I think that we're all on this journey together, whatever it is that's brought you to Isogenics, but this world, this pandemic and everything that's going on, it's heavy. It's really heavy. And I'm hoping that at some point tonight I'm just going to chat for 10 or 15 minutes, that I can bring some sort of light to you, some sort of light to your heart, and help you kind of be able to get outside of that energy that we're feeling. And so if you guys will all do me a huge favor, get really comfortable if you can, just kind of get comfortable in your seat. I'm just going to guide you through a little bit of a meditation, and I'll talk to you about my story afterwards, and tell you why I'm doing this. But if you can also just take a moment, close your eyes if you can. Just take a second and close your eyes. If it's not comfortable to close your eyes, that's okay. Just kind of glance down a little bit, stare at something that's not moving. Just take some deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. Just release some of that energy in through your nose, out through your mouth. Let's do one more big inhale. And out through your mouth. Just kind of settling in space in your body, and feel whatever your body is feeling at this moment. Is it anxious? Is it rested? Is it wondering what we're doing? Just take a few moments to kind of take an evaluation of your body. And then what I want you to do is concentrate for a moment on your heart. You have to put your hand up over on your heart and just feel the beating of your heart. Feel how it beats. And it gives you the support and the vitality that you need every day to wake up. That heart is there to share with other people, to open up, to love you and your body. It really gives you that vitality. Gives you the oxygen in the blood that you need. It helps deliver all the nutrients that you put in your body to your body to fuel it. Just take a moment in gratitude to thank your heart. Thank your heart for giving you that life source, that energy. Really be in a space of gratitude and understand that the most important thing is to love yourself, love your body, and all the energy that it takes. And as you sit in just for a moment in silence, I want you to almost give yourself a little energetic hug. Imagine that your heart is swirling a green, bright energy, and it's swirling, and as that swirling energy just surrounds you with amazing amounts of divine love from one another, love from the earth, just feel it for a moment in silence. Now silently give yourself a hug with that energy and say thank you. And when you're ready, open your eyes and come back to this space. One of the things that I really love to do is get us in the right energy, in the right moment, and be present and really commit to being present for this. So I'm going to tell you my isogenic story. First of all, let's talk about Stephanie Beebe. So Stephanie's oldest son is the same age as my youngest daughter. I have two daughters, and they were in preschool together. And Stephanie, you know Stephanie, she's got this bright, bubbly smile. And I remember the first time I met her, she's like, "Hi, what's your name?" And I'm thinking, wow, so I thought I was bubbly, but no, Stephanie was extremely fantastic with her energy and love. And you can tell she wants everything for everyone. And she obviously introduced me to isogenics. And at the time that I was introduced to isogenics, you guys, I had been separated from my now ex-husband. We were separated for about 10 months. And I got back together with him. And I was in a space of being, my kids were, and I don't even know how old my kids were at this time, but I was the heaviest that I had been since I was pregnant. I was the same weight that I was when I gave birth to my kids, okay? And I thought, oh, for heaven's sakes, what is going on? And there was a lot of emotional turmoil going on. And when my ex-husband and I were separated, I was afraid of money, you guys. I was afraid of spending money. I was living a lie to myself. I realized that. I kind of woke up, and this was all before isogenics was introduced to me, but I kind of woke up and went, why am I living a lie to myself? And I was kind of starting to do that inner dynamic change of, okay, I got to figure something out. I got to figure something out with my weight, with my life. Who am I and what am I doing? And I think at the time I was about 35 or 36. I'm 45 now. Time went quick. But I was starting kind of to do some of those questions, those questions that you ask yourself. And it was a really kind of a tough time when my ex and I were separated at that time, but we got back together. And I decided something that when we got back together and we were doing therapy, he said, you know, Erin, I had a friend of mine say to me, Erin always starts something but never finishes it. And you never finish, or you never start anything. And so that hit me, you guys, that hit me really hard. I was like, wait a second, I never start anything. Like I start so much and I never finish it. And I had to kind of like mull that over, right? So I got into isogenics, immediately lost about 25 pounds, which was awesome, right? We all know how great that feels, not only putting the nutrition in, but just to be lighter and brighter. And then I kind of hit a plateau. And my story kind of goes like this. I ended up just getting back to that place of remembering. When I hit that plateau, I remembered, okay, something's got to change. Something's got to shift. And I kept asking God and the universe, all right, what am I going to do? And deciding, I heard that in my head, you always finish something, or you always start something, but you never finish it. You guys, I had entered Ice Body Challenges and had never uploaded my after photos. How many of you have done that? Right? Why? Why is that? Well, because somewhere inside, we decided that we weren't good enough. And we decided that we weren't good enough to actually upload our photos because we were afraid maybe we were a failure, right? Maybe we didn't want to see ourselves in a bikini or tight clothes or whatever it was. Maybe we just didn't do much over 16 weeks and we plateaued. I had entered so many Ice Body Challenge and had never finished it. And I just decided, you know what, dang it, I'm going to get this next 25 pounds off and I'm going to finish it. I don't care what it takes. And I ended up hiring a coach, accountability partner, incorporating isogenics into my daily life, working out more, and really starting to understand my body. But at the time, you guys, that was what I could control. And I think this was back in 2014 when I decided to just, okay, I'm going to drop the last 25 pounds. That was what I could control. Because again, at that time, my ex-husband was spiraling downward and I couldn't control it. Couldn't control him. So I took control and made a decision. And where did that come from? That came from a place of my inner strength. And one of the things that has always been said about me is I'm pretty damn tenacious. And so if I put my mind to something, I just make a choice and I do it. And that was the one thing I could concentrate on because I knew that my health was the most important. I wanted to get the weight off and I wanted to look sexy and rock star, right? Like rock star sexy. So that year I was 39 years old and I decided, you know what? I am going to have the body of a fitness model at age 40. I kept saying that. I said it to my clients. I'm a hairstylist, part-time. Kept saying it to my clients. And all of a sudden I looked at myself. I'm like, I do not have the body of a fitness model. But hey, I'm turning 40. So I got it done. And you saw those photos that we shared. I got it done by the end of the 2015. I had fitness photos done. I think she's going back there. There you go. So that was the end of 2015, you guys. So the top left, I think, was probably at the beginning of my isogenics journey. The bottom part was when I decided, you know what, I'm going to enter an IsoBody challenge. I'm going to do what it takes to get it done. Have no fear of money. Have no fear because I am good enough and I'm worth it. And then, of course, I lost most of the weight and had these fitness photos done by the end of 2015. And I love the bottom right. Do you see the bottom right where I'm tossing the 40 up? Like, hey, I got this. 40 is nothing, you know? I think I need to do that at 45 now too. But thank you, Stephanie, for sharing those. So I made a decision. And one of the things that I think has really helped is understanding my soul and myself. Isogenics was a huge, huge part of it. Not only do they have all of the trainings, you guys, and what goes on in our trainings? Our trainings are self-help, right? They really help develop us, because if we are not at a place of good standing within ourselves to be able to know ourselves and really understand and develop those parts of us that are a little bit shadowy, that, if it's a shadow that we have, if we're not in a good space, we're never going to be able to grow and progress. And it's baby steps. The Isogenics definitely has the tools, the people, and the resources to help you. Not only that, but everything that you put in your body, all the nutrition, right? All the good stuff. So when those photos came out, they kind of exploded and went a little bit all over the world. And you guys, at that time, at the end of 2015, beginning of 2016, I knew I was going to divorce my husband. And I got to tell you that I was brought to my knees lots of time in gratitude and prayer of people reaching out and saying, you're my inspiration. Your photos are on my vision boards. And I'm not saying that from an ego perspective. I'm saying that from truly, wow, this is hugely what I want to do. I want to help people with their wellness. And that, for me, wellness means holistic wellness. That means physical health, mental health, emotional health, financial health, and spiritual, okay? So I have a background. I am certified as a primordial sound meditation instructor through the Topper Center. And so I meditate on a regular basis. I've been experimenting with all sorts of meditation, and don't be afraid of meditation. You guys, meditation is simply pondering. In the Bible, they talk about praying and pondering. Meditation is simply listening, right? Prayer is talking to God. Meditation is listening. And a lot of times I actually don't get that divine inspiration or that spirit talking in my ear in meditation. I usually get it out when I'm weight training, go figure, or when I'm on my Peloton bike. But meditation is huge to me. And that's one of those things that I would strongly, strongly ask you guys to take a moment, take 20 minutes a day, 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes a night. And don't give me any crap that you don't have 20 minutes a day. Okay. We're all kind of sitting around looking at each other. I promise you that if you get on what's called the Insight Timer, it's a free app, Insight Timer. They have 10-minute meditations. You guys, you can do with just nature sounds. You can do guided meditations. I promise you that if you do that twice a day, that your world will change, that you will get more done in less time. Your heart will explode with gratitude, and you'll be able to look humans in the eye, whether it's on Zoom, whether it's at the grocery store. These things with the mask, you guys. Actually, it's funny because it drives me crazy with the masks right now. But at the same time, if you stare at somebody in their eyes, you can look into their soul. And it's huge right now. If you can just do that on Zoom, your whole life will change if you can meditate and then look people in the eyes and send them silent prayers. That to me is huge. Just promise me you'll do that, because that's one of those things that's a giving and receiving spiritual law. So I challenge you to message me on Facebook. Let me know if you're going to start. Take twice a day, 10 minutes a day. Do a 10-minute meditation, mindfulness practice, and that'll be huge. Do a gratitude journal. And what I would love for you guys to do is do a gratitude journal about yourself, okay? Not the things you have. For instance, I could wake up today and go, I'm so thankful for my computer, my Peloton. No, I want you guys I'm challenging you for 2 weeks to write 3 things down. If that's too much, write 1 thing down a day. 1 to 3 things about yourself that you truly, truly love and appreciate. Okay. It can be your toes, because toes keep you up, right? It can be your eyes. It can be your personality. Anything about yourself. Okay. So do that. And the next thing that I think is very, very important is to understand yourself. And once you start working into those gratitude journals and meditating, you will understand yourself and your soul a little bit better. And then you can go on and move into more things that are self-development. So the isogenics journey was more about the internal transformation than the external, to be honest with you. And it's led me to the point where I'm now a Gallup certified strengths coach. So Gallup is basically a polling company, but they have this assessment that you take that honest is amazing. You guys, you take this assessment and it knocks out your top, 34 talents. There's 34 talents for strengths. And literally it speaks to you and it speaks to actually who you are. And it's amazing to me because I like to think from a soul level, but I'm also kind of logical. So I want to see things on paper. And when you can know actually your strengths and how you can use them, your business will grow, your home will be better, things will be better. You'll be able to be more in tune with yourself and understand what strengths and talents you have that you can bring to the table if you're growing your isogenics business, or even if every day you're waking up and just wanting to improve yourself. And if you need any more information about the Gallup Strengths Assessment, I would be happy to help you with that. I am a coach. You can take it on your own. You can take it for me, whatever you want to do, but it's amazing. I'm going to give you a quick example, and I'm going to send it over to Paul, because Paul and Lynette are two of my favorite human beings. I don't know them very well, but Lynette and I have this thing. I don't know. I have this thing. The minute I saw her at an Isogenics event years ago, I was like, wow, she's super cool. We made eyes. It was really, really cool. So these people are a fantastic, fantastic couple and amazing energy. But I'm going to give you an example of the Gallup Strengths, and I'm going to sign off. Well, not sign off, but be done yapping my trap. Gallup Strengths. My older brother is a neurosurgeon, okay? Neurosurgeon. Blows my mind. I have a younger half-sister, who is a professor. She is a professor at High Point University. She teaches, her dissertation was diversity in education. She's been published. I saw her speak at a big national evangelical, I don't know, I've seen her speak. She wrote a textbook. Smart people, smart siblings, okay? And for a long time, I kept thinking, well, I'm just a hairstylist. People would be like, wait a second, your brother's a neurosurgeon? What's going on with you? And they'd laugh and giggle. And I'm like, well, I'm the smartest one of all. I have the best tax benefits and the least amount of student loans, right, as a hairstylist. And I own my own business. But not kidding, honestly, inside, it kind of bothered me. It did kind of bother me. Because you see these talents and the schooling and you go, oh my gosh, my brother makes, I don't know, $1 million a year, whatever he makes. And here I am, a part-time hairstylist and a mom, and I'm working, network marketing businesses and coaching businesses. And one day I looked at my talents. Actually, somebody else looked at my talents in the fall, and my top 10 talents. You guys, my top 5 are, number 1, you see it on my little name, positivity. Okay, that's self-explanatory. Adaptability means I can kind of go with the flow, help people out. Don't get too crazy. Belief, everybody knows where I stand. Input, which is taking information and being able to kind of put it out to people. I love to collect information, people, networking. And woo is winning others over, okay? My next 5 are very much about maximizing, getting people going, getting things energized, achieving things. So this gentleman looked at my top 10 and he said, wow, I've only seen you speak once. I was assisting for an all-day class for a corporation, for a Gallup Strengths class. And he said, you could walk into a room, you could know your audience and own it on stage, can't you? And I'm like, well, kind of, yeah. And I said, I can actually get on Facebook Lives, and, like this. And he goes, oh my gosh, you need to tap into that. And all of a sudden, you guys, a light bulb went off. And I went, okay, my brother has certain talents. My sister has certain talents. I have these talents. We are all unique. We are all unique in our own way. They're not any better than me. I guarantee you, my sister will tell you right now, there is no way in heck that she could get on a Facebook Live. She's like, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it. That takes huge talent. And she goes, and you inspire people. You have words that come out just out of your mouth. So what I'm here to tell you is that's an awesome example of me going, wow, look at my talents, and having somebody else point them out that are like Gallup Strengths, all scientifically based, for me to appreciate myself and not compare myself to others. And that love yourself, do your meditations, do your gratitude journal about yourself for 2 weeks, message me. I will be more than happy to jump on the phone call, chat, and I love you all, and thank you so much. Am I turning it over to Paul? Yeah, Paul, I think you're up. Or maybe back to Trisha. I don't know. Somebody will jump in.
Well, how about you help me for just a second? Is that okay, Erin?
Yeah.
Let's go through a couple of these products and just share, you know, because you came in, you used a system. I'm assuming you started with like a starter pack.
Yes. Oh gosh, I have to remember. I probably did, because you guys have to remember, I was back together with my ex-husband, and I was a little afraid of money. Like, what money was one of the biggest things, and he didn't want me to spend money on it because he doesn't understand nutrition. And I basically said, F it, I'm going to buy it. So I think I came in with a 30-day.
Awesome. Okay. So there's lots of different packs to start, guys, for those of you that are new and visiting. There's so many ways to get started in isogenics. And, you know, these right here, you can kind of see the 20 per day, 10 per day, 5 per day. These are 3 of our most popular ways to start. But with isogenics, there is a way to start for every budget and every goal. It does not matter where you're coming from, right? Erin said she was struggling through a divorce and not having a lot of money. I was broke as a joke and getting assistance. Did not like it. And I sold things, and I started actually with this bigger pack because I'm kind of an all or nothing kind of girl. And I didn't want any excuses for why it didn't work. Like when Erin said she's gritty, I totally understand that. Like I was really gritty 7 years ago, and that led to, you know, losing 95 pounds in isogenics because I was focused and determined, and I had these incredible products. So Erin, you know, as you look through the products that we have here in the core system, if you could just share just briefly, you know, what do you love about them, and how do you use them every day?
Well, so let's just start with Ionic Supreme. Enough said.
Everybody's favorite.
Close it out. Like, I was actually just speaking with a doctor today. She's an Ayurvedic doctor, and Ayurveda is the Indian science of life, by the way. And the Chopra Center is very much about Ayurveda, and I've studied about this much of it, but Ionic Supreme has ashwagandha and some of the other adaptogenic herbs in it. So if I had to choose anything to live off of for the rest of my life, that would be it, you know, financially. And the vitamins obviously speaks for itself. The shakes, you know what? I have to be honest with you. Pre-COVID, we're all very, very busy, right? We've all been very busy. I don't know about you guys, but I literally would take my girls to school, preschool, school. I would go to work. I would pick them up. I'd bring them home, and then I'd go back to the salon at night. And I didn't have time to food prep back in the day, right? So the isogenic shakes are convenient, nourishing, filling, and obviously amazing. Okay, so that's huge, absolutely huge. The cleanse, again, adaptogenic herbs, things that are going to help cleanse your liver, all of your organs that need that sort of toxicity taken out. And listen, this system is so much more than just a weight loss. So much more. I mean, we see the physical weight loss on the outside, you guys, but the nourishing inside is huge. So I don't know if I could pick one product, Trisha, but I actually, fruits and greens are great. My girls drink fruits and greens. I love, of course, the Amped line, right? Like the nitro and all that, the recover. So I use a lot of it. I just ordered Knox again to start like on that again. So
I love myself some Knox.
Yeah.
I almost named my daughter Knox. My husband said no. Really rude. I love Knox. So with that being said, we're talking products. So why don't we just go straight into the king of product nutrition? I mean, this guy is absolutely incredible. And you kind of have to be to fuel the amount of muscle he has on his body. I mean, he eats more protein than most of us do in a week. But Paul, I know you're here. I cannot wait to hear from you and just listen to your wisdom.
Hey Trisha, thanks for the introduction. Thank you, Erin. That was awesome. I really resonated with a lot that you were talking about, and I see a lot of good faces on here. I see a lot of people that I don't know, so I'm super happy about that because it's what this business is really all about. It's about not only finding our power within isogenics for ourselves, but spreading the word and talking to people about what do we really have at our fingertips that's available for us and everybody within our circle. And that's what this is about. It's about community. It's about a safe place to be in uncertain times. It's about understanding that there's still good in the world among all the chaos that we see on the news and the media and social media. And there's a place where you can find people that have a common vision for something better for their life, that the current status and state of the world is not something that they're necessarily going to just sit around and accept. And we need to make some changes. We need to make some positive changes. And the best way to do that is teaming up with people with a common vision and creating a momentum behind this positivity that Erin was speaking about, so that we can all move in the direction that does better everybody's life for ourselves and everyone around us. So with that being said, I'll take you back to when I first started, and my better half is not on with me right now, but that would be Lynette, and her and I had started from day one, and we were on this journey together because it was something that we saw right away. So when we were introduced to Isogenics, it was life-changing, to say the least. You know, I have been in the bodybuilding, fitness, and competitive coaching arena for 25 years now. So we've been part of Isogenics for just over 6, you know, so rewind the tape 6 years, and I was still doing the same thing that I love to do now, which is help people transform their bodies. I was just using different methods and techniques, and I was using what I knew at the time. But I was always searching for something that could enhance that experience as a coach, that experience for people to transform. And on top of that, what we saw was an opportunity to change our lives financially. And that was the big player for us because, truth be told, I've been in shape my whole adult life. I started working out when I was 16, and that was after 10 years of being a gymnast from the age of 6 until 16, and I decided to go into bodybuilding. So staying in shape, being in shape was never a big deal to me. It was just something that it was part of my life. It was part of my culture. It was part of like the way I grew up. You brush your teeth every day, you go to the gym every day. It's just part of life. There's no excuses. There's no thinking about it. There's no negative. There's no doubt. There's no like wishy-washy stuff about it. It's just part of what I did. But I was always looking for the edge, right? I wanted to be the edge. I wanted to have the edge coaching people. I wanted to have the edge representing my own brand, so to speak, in a way that I walk around with the body that I want. The vision in my head of what do I want to look like in my ideal peak physical condition. That's who I want to represent, and that's who I want to be. So, I would always look for the edge in coaching and the edge in nutrition and the edge in training. And I was always looking for the answers for how do I level this up? Well, Isogenics comes into my life, and it is a complete no-brainer because back in the day, for those of you that are new, they used to have, they still have IsoPro protein. It's just the plain undenatured whey protein, which I devour on a weekly basis still to this day. But they used to have this little Happy Cow on there. And, and that was the real deal. You saw that Happy Cow, you knew it was good, high quality, coming from New Zealand, grass-fed sources. And we have other just as clean sources available today because the expansion of the company demanded it. But you're still in good hands because you're still getting the undenatured whey protein. You're still getting third-party tested. You're still getting everything is as clean as it can get. If you buy the stuff in the stores, you don't know what you're getting. And there's no rules. There's no rules in the supplement industry. So if you go to the store, it is up in the air, literally on the stuff that you get. What is in the bottle is not always on the label, or what's on the label is not always what's in the bottle. But with Isogenics, you can be assured that that is the case. Okay. So with that, it was a no-brainer as far as products. 6 years later, I still drink 6 shakes a day. I still take my Onyx every day. I still take the vitamins. It's just part of life. I don't know why anyone would stop once they start. It's just like, you want to feel better or you want to feel worse. I can show you, just stay on the products to feel better. And then if you want to feel worse because you hate yourself in your life, go ahead and get off the products. Like, I don't know why anyone would stop drinking this. Like, this is like gold. So you can tell I'm a little bit passionate about protein shakes for some bizarre reason. But the point is, the products are a no-brainer. Take the products, get the result. Take the products, feel better. Take the products, live your dream life. On the other side of it, there's the opportunity that is accompanied with the products. And when we talk about the opportunity, some people are like, well, I'm not in this for the business. Just let your guard down for a second and let's talk about real possibilities. No one's asking you to go to work for them. Nobody's going to force you to talk to people you don't want to talk to. Nobody's trying to trick you into building a big team for them while they just sit on the beach and don't do anything. That's not how this business works. How it works is, listen, I have a great opportunity that I saw for myself, and I'm taking advantage of it. If you want to run with me, grab my hand, let's go. Okay, we're in this together. Okay, and when you look at the news today and you look at the current situations of the world around or everywhere, how much togetherness is there really? How much can you look around and say, this, you know, I feel like I'm part of a community that cares? There's not much of that happening, right? And within this community, you can be yourself. Within this community, you can open up to people in ways that you may have thought previously not possible. And I speak from experience on that. When I got into Isogenics, you know, if there are people that got life right, I was not one of them when I got into Isogenics. I had my passion, my things that I knew what I was doing, but broke. I was barely getting by. You know, I was, you know, frustrated that I was in my early 30s. I didn't have a clue what I was doing. You know, like I was just lost. You know, I hated myself. I hated other people. I wasn't social. I'm still not social, but I don't hate myself. And I love people, so that's good. But and that's another important part. You don't have to be an extrovert to succeed in this. You don't have to be anything. You be you, the best version of you. Now, that's very vague. Sometimes people are like, I don't know what that means. It sounds very self-helpy. Right? But what it means is looking within, like Erin was talking about meditation. It's simply looking within and becoming more self-aware about potential and then acting on that potential. You know, taking a risk and saying, you know what, I've been living 40% my entire life. What would my life look like if I jumped up to 60%? What would it look like if I even kicked it up to 80 or even floored it up to 100%? Like, what if I really gave my all this one time? How would my life change? And more importantly, there are people in your life that love you and you love, and they on that journey, and nobody will be left behind when you're running all out with a passion and a fire that is infectious and takes people and kind of encompasses them within your inferno, right? So when we're talking about the opportunity, we're talking about a chance to do something different with your life. Go ahead, jump in and make 6 figures a month. Or if you think that big because it's overwhelming and you're like, that's not possible for me, let's break it down. What about just the phone bill? What if I could create a business with a couple hours a week where I'm sharing stuff about product I love because the products are a no-brainer, and it pays for my phone bill for the rest of my life, right? Or what if I could share with a few extra people and it takes care of my house payment or my car payment or all of the above, or it creates a financial abundance that you've never experienced before in your life. Do you know where I came from when we started this business? I was coaching people. Yes, I've been personal training since I was 16 years old. Yes, I've loved the health and fitness business. But what I was doing for a living at that time, I was working in a call center. Do you know how much experience I had with building a business as a call center electronic support representative? Zero. I had zero experience. So Erin had mentioned her brother is a neurosurgeon. Thank God you don't have to be a brain surgeon to do this business. Otherwise, I would have failed. You don't have to come anywhere close. In fact, if I have my strengths and I have my weaknesses, but you're looking at a meathead here. I mean, I push weight up and then I lower it down slow. If I can make this business work, you can make this business work. Okay. Focus on what's right about you, and let's start running with that. You don't have to figure everything out before you start taking action. But what you do have to do is you have to start taking action. So if action for you is, you know what, this call, I didn't know what is going to be out, but it's crazy guys talk about and he's been on it for years. I'm going to go ahead and jump on the shakes. I'm going to start with that 30-day weight loss plan, or I'm going to jump on the Presence Pack or the value that's going to take me, give me extra, with all the products so that I can make sure that I start the right way without missing a beat. I'm going to connect with the person that introduced me to this business. I'm going to ask them for guidance, because they might not know everything, but they're one chapter ahead at least. And that's all you need, is somebody that is just right down the road telling you, hey, I'm your PS. Just turn right at the corner. I got you. Right. So that's all you need, is just to give you the next step. You don't hold the steps. You just need the next step. So the products are a no-brainer. Get the result for yourself. And if taking action for you is going all in the side and saying, you know what, I'm going to do this. I don't know what but I'm going to do this. Then the people that brought you on this call are going to coach you on how to do that. A couple simple things to keep in mind. You don't have to talk to 1 million people. You don't have to have 50,000 people on your Instagram following. You don't have to be a YouTube personality that is charismatic and beautiful like me. No, I'm a clown. Look at me. I'm goofy, right? I haven't got my haircut since the lockdowns. Do you think I care? No, I don't care, because it's not about haircuts. It's about what do you want out of this business? It's about looking at this for you first, okay? Putting your eyes on yourself, getting real with yourself, and then taking it and putting the eyes on other people and saying, okay, the way I'm going to get what I want is to help enough other people get what they want. And when you connect to that method of action, Annie, thanks. What's going to happen is you're going to find a new flow. You're going to find a new purpose. You're going to find reasons to keep going. And like Erin was talking about her reason in the beginning, you're going to find your why. And the why now might change down the road, and that's okay. But you have to stay aware with the kind of person that you are, how you operate, what you want out of this business, and just start taking action. It doesn't have to be an all-nothing business, but it has to be a next kind of a business. And I mean that with the products, and I mean that with the actual opportunity. Just take the next step. Don't take all the steps, right? When people are in the gym, they're like, what do I do? Just do the next rep. That's it. All I care about is the next rep. Just do one rep. That's it. And then if you could do one after that, then that's cool too. And then guess what? Just focus on the next rep. Don't focus on anything else other than the very next rep. Okay. So I don't want to talk forever, but I do want to just kind of close out with this. Is these products changed my life. In the first 30 days, like I said, I've always been in shape, but I lost 10 pounds of body fat, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Cause I had abs all at the time. I was like, I didn't even know I had 10 pounds to lose. Over the last 6 years, I put on another 45 pounds of muscle. But that's something that I wanted to. So I want you to keep in mind the products will work for weight loss if you want to lose 100 pounds of muscle, 100 pounds of body fat, or if you want to put on 50 pounds of muscle. It doesn't matter. These products will work for you as long as you work it, okay? On the opportunity side, challenge yourself to take a risk on something before, okay? And if it's scary, it's okay. It can be scary, but you have to take a new step to get a new result. So when you're looking at this business, maybe you never even thought about that. And I'm the first one that's kind of like, hey, wake up. This is something that is worth your time. It's actually worth looking at. This changes financially for the last 6 years. And let's just say it's not a little bit of money. And they've never, ever missed a payment. They've never missed 1 week of us getting paid. They never missed a bonus, ever. Can you say that about other companies? Can you say that about your job? How secure are you with what's going on right now? whether or not that paycheck's going to be there or not. You don't have to put that in someone else's hand. You can take control by taking small steps forward with this business so that you never have to be in a position of submission or powerlessness should anything change in the future. So with that, focus on what's right about you. Focus on your strengths. Connect with the people that brought you on this call. If it's about the product, dive in. Trust the process. Get the result. If it's about the business, connect with the person that brought you on. Dive in. Ask them what's the next step. Tell them where you're at. If it's an all-in, go 100%. Cool. If it's, you know what, I'll give 45%, 50% with the time that I got in the situation with my schedule. If that's all you got, that's okay. It's not all or nothing. Let's just test the waters, keep it going, and get the most out of life while we can. In times of uncertainty, in times of chaos, in times of massive change, literally we're living through history right now. There's nothing more empowering than knowing that there's a community of people here that will help you along the way. So I hope that helps you to move to your next step, and let's have the best rest of the week ever.
Thank you so much, Paul. And again, to Erin. I'm sure some of you guys have some questions. I've actually seen a few, but if you want to rewrite your questions right now, go ahead and put those in the chat box right this second. You have a few minutes. You have a few minutes of just some Q&A as we close up our call. And I'm sure you guys have some thoughts or impressions, things that you want to share or that you want to ask Paul or Erin. Paul, what you just said, I mean, I shouldn't say what you just said. So many things resonated as you were talking. But you said, you know, basically what you said was what you focus on grows, right? What you focus on, you find. And I think it's really easy. In fact, it's the carnal nature that we have, that we were born with. It's the lazy man in us that wants to just go along with what's happening. We're at the holidays, we're eating turkey, we're eating pie, right? You know, the world is falling apart, we're falling apart too. You know, everybody, you know, people are losing income or stressing out. So we start stressing out, and guess what? That usually leads to a loss of income or whatever is going on, right? We tend to do what the rest of the world around us is doing. And yet, there is always going to be a solution out of the chaos. There is always a light that shines through the clouds and shows us that there's a better way and that there's a better tomorrow. There are always going to be leaders that are moving forward, showing us what's possible. And that's what we're here to do. And as you do it, what's so incredible is some of you, for a while, you're going to get started, you're going to become followers, and you're going to see your life grow and improve as you focus on health, focus on vitality, focus on fitness, focus on success, right? But you're focusing on good things. So more good is coming into your life. And before you know it, you are going to be that pillar of light that shows others that more is possible, that they don't have to focus on the negative. So beautiful. Thank you both for what you shared. Heidi just asked, what are your top 3 favorite products, Paul? And do any of them not include protein?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, absolutely. They do not. There are some that do not include protein. So, hands down, the isolene shakes or the isolene. I mean, that's just, you know, I have double batches of that 4 times a day. So, if you want to know what that means it's 4 scoops 4 times a day, 8 shakes a day, just in that. Plus, I'll drink the Iso Pro, which I love, right? And this is based on my goals. You don't have to do that. So that's product number 1, isolene shakes. Number 2 is the Ionic Supreme, like Erin had mentioned too. That is just the best way to wake up. That's all I'd say. If you want good, like I said at the beginning, drink the Ionics. If you want to feel less than good, if you don't like your life and you want to stay miserable, then don't drink the Ionics. And I'd say probably one of my other favorite products. One of my other favorite products is the. Let me think. I mean, I got like all hundreds of them in the pantry, but because I take them all every day. So what stands out? I mean, e-shots. Let's see. I'm downing Knox like it's going out of style.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff is good. Major pump, and then a little bonus. I'll down the vitamins, but I'll double dose that. So, but that's my goals. So.
That's awesome.
Yep.
I love it. And it is about goals, guys. And what's cool is your goals are going to continue to shift and change as you evolve and as you get older or go through different things. And Isagenix is here to show you the solutions depending on what your goal is at the time. So I love that. Priscilla asked, and it's a great question. And I love working with athletes. In fact, I work with a lot of them, coaching them, and they always are worried about cleansing. So I'd love for you to just for a minute talk about, do you cleanse? And is it, if you cleanse, do you deteriorate and lose all your muscle?
Yeah, actually it's tragic. I'll do a 1-day cleanse and I'm down 67 pounds. It's terrible. No, you don't lose anything. There's so much science to intermittent fasting that, like, if anybody's not cleansing, they're making a huge mistake. I mean, you want to dive into longevity science. Nerd mode right here. I'll dive in, but I'll keep it short. So, do your cleanses. I'll do once a week. Just keep it simple. If you want to do the 2-day deep cleanse, that's fine too. If you want to do the nightly cleanse, that's fine too. The point is just cleanse the body. You got garbage out to make room for the good stuff. And intermittent fasting with the deep cleanses gives your growth hormone an opportunity to skyrocket and activate all those longevity processes that keeps me looking young and fresh.
I just have to throw this question in there because I know a bunch of my friends will be watching this. I'm not going to put out any names right now, but do you ever lift with your legs, Paul, or do you just do your chest and tries?
No, in fact, I absolutely have been a full body trainer for my entire life, training my whole body since on, and I'm for a 25-pound leg press this year, so we'll give it a go and see if we don't break my knees in half. Yep.
I love it. You talk about growth hormones, and I just know, especially women, squatting, lunges, deadlift, all those things are so great for women, great for everybody, but so good for boosting those growth hormones and helping you in so many different ways. So, any thoughts on that as far as, somebody who's getting into fitness or just getting started? I know recovery is probably one of my favorite products. It's my top 5. I drink that every day. Love our BCAAs. It used to be called Recover, now it's just BCAAs. Because let's just put it out there what exactly it is. Right?
That's a good point. And guys and girls who are doing cleanse days, I always tell people, if you're doing fasted cardio, down that Recover. If you're doing cleanse days, down the Recover multiple times a day. Like, this is a good way to maintain your lean mass and help the amino surge need that you need to maintain that lean muscle. For those of you that haven't worked out or don't plan on working out, guys, listen, use the products, you'll get a result. You'll transform your body. Add in a little bit of working out. It's like night and day. You're gonna double, triple, quadruple your results, and you'll be happy that you did. Not only that, but you'll build new habits that can stay with you for a lifetime. So, absolutely, that Recover is essential for maintaining that good nitrogen balance so that you can keep the muscle that you work so hard to develop.
Awesome. Okay, so last question. We're still getting a lot of questions about cleansing, and knowing, should you do a 1-day cleanse or a 2-day cleanse? Also, as somebody asked, how do you know how many shakes you should have a day? So Erin and Paul, if you want to, maybe Erin, you can share your love of cleansing, and Paul, maybe if you could just answer that question about, how do you know how many shakes you should have a day, and, where do you go to find, to look into those resources of, are you getting enough?
So I'm gonna speak about cleansing because I quite honestly don't have a love for a 2-day cleanse. I just don't, and that may be because for me, my metabolism, I built it up over the years, and so like I don't have a whole lot of energy, but I do love the 1 day cleanses, you guys, and the night and the daily cleanse. So that's huge. So I'm just going to be really raw and honest. 2 day cleanses for me are really hard. Did I do them at the beginning of my isogenics journey to lose weight? I absolutely did. And now let me tell you, let's see, I think I joined in 2013. How many years later, we've got so many more products that you can have on cleanse days that actually help get you through. It's amazing, right? For 2 day cleanses. So that's huge. That's what I have to say. I was also going to just throw this out there right now with everything going on with COVID. If you're still at home, quarantined at home, not able to go to the gym, wherever you're at, Trisha, you were talking about, doing leg workouts. Well, I find that for me, I have very strong legs. It's really hard if I don't get to the gym. So just so you know, the Peloton app, you can get the Peloton app for, I think, 90 days for free, you guys. And you can get up on your smart TV, on your iPad, but they have strength classes. And so if you're a person that likes classes and you still need to get a workout in and you've got a little bit of weights at home, they even have body weight classes. I'm a huge proponent of their platform. So there's leg days. You can do a full 30 minutes of just legs, and it ain't fun. My hamstrings are on fire right now. So from just the other day.
No, I love that. And I will just briefly say, the best workout is whatever one you'll do. I tell everybody that the best fitness is what you'll stick to. And so I love that you found one for you. And, one of the blessings of this quarantine, this craziness, is how much people have really started to utilize all the online courses that there are, because there is so much out there. There's so many free classes. I mean, just find what you love and do it,
And I love the nitro, by the way, before
Amen.
I get on my Peloton for a ride. Woo! That stuff kicks in. It just gets tingly. Love it.
It's amazing. Amen to that. All right. So Paul, if you could just close us up with that last question, how do you know how many shakes you should be having? That's really more a question of how do you know where your nutrition and calories should be?
Yeah. So to keep it simple, because everyone can be very specific on their macros, although I'm not a really big believer on tracking macro calories or anything like that. The only thing I do kind of pay attention to is the amount of protein I get in a day. Everything else is kind of is going to take care of itself. And what I mean by that is how much protein should you be getting per day? So the answer is it depends on how active you are and how quickly you want to change your body. What that means is for basic health and vitality, you don't need much protein at all. So 2 shakes a day and a nice balanced meal at night is plenty of protein. That puts you probably around 60 to 80 grams per day, all the, 2 shakes and a meal and some snacks. That'll be fine for health and vitality. If you're physically active, 3 days a week or so in the gym or on the Peloton bike or, whatever around the neighborhood, and it doesn't matter if you're physically active, you're going to want to enhance that a little bit. And I usually listen to your body, but some people don't know what that means. So listen to the aches and pains, because that's what the body's telling you. It's a message. It's not a bad thing and it's not a good thing. It's just a message that your body's saying, hey, I need some help with recovery. Can you give me a little more protein? So recovery to me equals protein, because everything in your body is built out of protein. When you're building muscle, you want to supply it with the tools that it needs to continue to build new muscle and maintain. So that would be the protein. So for example, 2 weeks and a nice balanced meal is with the isogenics protocol. If you're working out on a daily basis, I would recommend 1 scoop of Isopro about 30 minutes before your workout and 1 scoop of Isopro about within 30 minutes after your workout. And that's pretty much all anyone would need. What'll happen is it'll help satiate your appetite. It'll help boost metabolism. The undenatured aspect of Isopro alone is phenomenal for increasing that metabolic rate. burning body fat, helping maintain lean mass. And for those that want to get more specific on how many shakes I should drink a day, beyond that, the basics, which is your 2 shakes in a meal, plus the before and after, stacking your protein around your workout. If you want to get more specific after that, then what you would do is you'd have to break down 0.6 grams of protein per pound of body weight, right? If you want to grow a lot of muscle. And the carbs would be in the shake cells, your meal in the evening. So if you're trying to lose body fat, you're going to pull the carbs down. If you're trying to build muscle, you're going to bump the protein up, and then the fat kind of maintains balance, right? So I had done a post in one of the groups here a while back using your hand as the portion control system. This is your protein here. This is your carbs here, right, per meal. This is your fats here. And then this would be a pile of veggies here, okay? So those 4 different ways to measure your portions is also a good way that will give you a preset macro balanced meal for yourself, including the shakes and the isopro around the workouts. I know someone had mentioned the I'm losing my mind. The tri release protein, that alone would then give you a different aspect of the longevity after the workout. This is going after the workout, because it has the fast release, the medium release, and then the long release, giving you that kind of constant amino input into your system. So I hope that helps. It's not very complicated to figure that out. Just start with 2 shakes in a meal. If you're growing muscle, add the protein before and after the workout. If you're a meathead like myself, 3 shakes, 2 meals, 5 meals a day, or 2 shakes and 3 meals. So you can do that too.
Paul and Erin, thank you so much for your time. I hope that we've honored you through our questions, our energy, and our excitement to have you on the call. It's been such a great learning tool for all of us. And I know that a lot of people are going to be joining in to listen to this recording.